Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are all having a good day so far. So in this video today, I'm going to be teaching you how to build this email validation checker. So let me show you how it works. I'll just enter in some random jargon here. And if we enter in @ and then .com, our JavaScript will detect that and will output the message, "You successfully signed in." So basically, our email has to meet 3 conditions. It needs to be more than 8 characters long, it needs to have the @ sign, and it needs to have the .com keyword somewhere in it. It doesn't matter if it's at the beginning or at the end, as long as it's included in there somewhere, then it will be valid. So that's basically all there is. And as you can see, I also have a few other tabs pulled up here as well, which we'll be using later in the video. So now, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Let's start from scratch again. The first thing I will want to do is create a div, give it an ID of container, go inside of this container and create a label tag, and then type enter your email. And now if we go back, refresh, we have the label. And let's do BR, which will force the next element to go below it, and we'll create an input. Type will be email, ID will also be email. Actually, no, we don't need this. We can just get rid of that. All we need is the ID. And now we can get out of this label, but while we're still inside the container, we want to create another span, give it an ID of message, and then now we want to get out of the container and create an I tag, give it a class of fast check circle, which is the font awesome icon. But obviously, after typing all this, it won't show up because we haven't embedded the link yet. So we can go do that now. So I can go to cdn.js.com, search up font awesome, hit enter, and this is the one that we want. So I'll just click that, copy link tag, go back to Visual Studio Code, paste it in there, and we don't need all of this. We just need the href. So now, if we go back, we should have the links in our web page. Yes, it's working. Great. I believe that is all we need for our HTML. So let's get started with CSS. So now let's start styling it up. We'll also have to go to Google Fonts and get this font right here called Quicksand. So I'll just copy all of that, paste it in here. So now we have access to that font. And we'll want to style the body, give it a background of linear gradient, hashtag 0571FE. Obviously, you can pick your own color, you don't have to go with mine, which is why we have this color picker here, so you can pick your own custom color, and you can just copy the hexadecimal color value for that code, for that color. Anyways, we can do hashtag 3D80FD. which will be another different shade of blue. And we don't want our background to repeat, so we'll type no repeat and then fixed. This is a shorthand. There's also a different way of doing this. You can do background repeat, no repeat, and then background attachment fixed, but that's just more typing, so that's why they invented the shorthand for using the background property in CSS. And now we can style our container, do display flex, background white. So now if we take a look at our container, it should be white now, yes. And we want the height of it to be 200 pixels, justify content center, and then align items center with 700 pixels. So now it should look a lot different now. Yes, it's at the top left corner of our web page. And then we can do position absolute, top 50%, left 50%, do transform. Let me move this down a little bit so you guys can see. Transform, translate, -50%, -50%, and we'll give it a border radius of 10 pixels. And now if we go back and take a look at it, perfect. Next, we'll want to style our input, so I'll just select that and give it a height of 40 pixels, a width of 300 pixels, margin right 30 pixels, 1 pixel solid black for the border, and we can do outline none, background transparent, cursor pointer, border radius 5 pixels. And next we want to style our label, so I'll just select that, give it a font family of sans serif, font weight will be bold so that it's more bold and defined. And now we'll select our exclamation circle, so fa exclamation circle icon, and we'll just give it a color of hashtag FE0505, which is basically red, and we'll just do font size 3.6 rem. We can now do position relative for our icon, top 420 pixels, left 1137 pixels, which will move it way over to the right hand side of our web page, more like to the center. So if we go take a look at it, obviously it doesn't show up because I did display none. So let's comment this out for now, and there it is. But we want it to be none. We want the display to be none so that it appears whenever our conditions for the email aren't met. And now we want to select our fa check circle, and we'll want to give it a color of green, so hashtag 2ECC71, which should be green. So if we take a look at it, yes, it's green, but it's kind of hard to see. So let's do font size 3.6 rem. And apparently in CSS they consider these these icons to be text in a way, because we have to use font size to control the size of it instead of width or height, which is what we use with divs or spans or images. But with font awesome icons, you have to use font size to control the size of it, and you can't control both the width and the height. You can only control the font size of it. So as you can see, it's a lot easier to see now. We just want to move it to the container, so we'll just do position relative, top 420 pixels, left 1155 pixels, and display none. And I'm just going to comment this out for now. So as you can see, it's right on top of the, well, it's not right on top. We have to uncomment this first. So as you can see, if we uncomment that, it's right there. And if we uncomment both of these, then they'll be overlapping each other a little bit. But now let's uncomment them. And the last thing we'll want to do is style our message span. So we'll do position relative, right 330 pixels, top 50 pixels, font family quicksand, which is what I got from Google Fonts, sans serif, font weight bold, and that is all we need for our HTML and CSS. So let's go take a look at it. And obviously our message doesn't appear because we didn't give it anything, so let's just type in some random stuff. And now as you can see, it's right below the input. So now we can get started writing some JavaScript to make this functional and more interactive. And here I'll create a variable called email and get my email. So document.query selector # email var error icon, and then after that we can bring in our success icon, which is the green one. And I should have done query selector, not get element by ID. My bad. That would have caused an error immediately. .fa. And now we can bring in our message span, and our last one will be the label itself. So document.query selector label, and that is all the variables we need to initialize to get started. So now we can start giving our email an event listener of on input. Basically, whenever we type something into the input, it will run this function that we're about to type. So we're going to have some conditional statements, some if statements. So if email.value, which is the content that we typed into the input, dot includes, so if it includes the @ and the length of it is also greater than or equal to 8, so if it has more than or equal to 8 characters, and it also includes .com, then this is what we want to do. So email.style.border equals 2 pixels solid. So basically, if all these conditions are met, then we're gonna give our email input a border of 2 pixels solid green. So let's go find that green color, which is this right here. I'll just paste it in here like that. Paste, and we can do success icon.style.display equals block, which will cause it to appear again and not be invisible. And we can do error icon.style.display equals none, because as we're typing our email before it has met all these 3 conditions, the error icon will be displayed, which is why we have to explicitly hide it. And then after that we can do message.innerHTML equals something along the line like you successfully logged in or signed in or something like that. And we can do message.style.color, and we're just going to set it to this color, and we'll get our label and set it to that color as well, so everything will be green, indicating you have logged in. And we're basically going to do the opposite for the else statement, so we'll just copy all this. The only difference is that we're going to change the message from you successfully logged in to be something like invalid email, try again. And we also want to make this set to be none and our error icon to be blocked. And we want to change the color of this to red, so I have to go find that red color, paste it in there like that. Do the same for these two right here. And that is pretty much it, so let's give it a try. And as you can see, I still have this random text right there, so I'll just go delete that. So now let's try typing in some stuff, and if I were to do @.com, yes, you successfully signed in. And that brings us to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did and learned something new from it and found value from it, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to show support for my channel. Thanks for watching. Other than that, have a good day, and I'll see you all in my next video.